You're listening to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, the show that proves no one stumbles upon success ever. With your host, Lou Need. Every Mondays and Thursdays, we deliver cold hard evidence behind the power of a robust morning routine. Get ready to be transformed by the renewal of your mind.
Hello, morning enthusiasts. Welcome to the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast. I am your host, Dr. Lou Need, and today I am honored and it's a privilege to have Tracy Marlowe here with us. She believes in the power of women. So in 2008, with a new infant at home, she began building Creative Noggin, a fully remote advertising agency. Her mission was to empower smart, passionate women to do work that they enjoy while balancing their home life with the support of a family-first work environment. And who doesn't need that? We hear about it all the time, work-life balance. What does that entail? What does that really look like, especially with remote work now, because everything's at home. The office is at home. The daycare is at home. You're the lunch lady. You are the wife. You're the mother. You are all of it. You're the cleaning lady, right? So it's really, really crucial to have the tactics, the ways, the principles on how to navigate that space, and to have a successful entrepreneur like Tracy come on and tell us the how is remarkable. So I'm excited. I'm thrilled to have her on the show. So Tracy, with no further ado, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I'm excited to be here.
It is my pleasure. Now, tell us about the journey, how you got here. I understand you had an infant at home. That's how you got started. Like, what drove you to that? You know, because usually that at that time with newborn or an infant, we're pretty burned out. We're not thinking of creativity on how to start a business. So, how did you do that?
You know, I was at a point in my career at that stage where I was very ambitious. I had been growing in my career. I had been really focused on work. I loved and enjoyed working, and I liked the work I did, and I felt very proud of it. But when I had that baby, it was a real mindset shift for me. My priorities changed. I suddenly realized that this baby was important to me. I wanted to be a part of her life. And yet I had sort of set the stage where I was already working, 60 plus hours a week. And I realized that I couldn't continue to maintain that type of schedule. And so I finally got to a point where I realized something needed to change. And at that point, I made the decision to start the agency and start growing the agency. And it was, obviously a huge thing and a huge risk to take at that point in that juncture. But I realized that I wanted to be able to breastfeed my baby in the middle of the day if I wanted to be able to put her to bed at night and not be too busy working late. I wanted to be a part of her life, but I also wanted to continue my career and continue to do work that I was proud of. And so doing that and going off on my own allowed me, that flexibility and that freedom to do that.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. And you don't hear that quite often. Going from the 80 hours, just being burnt out. Were you in the industry before? So agent, ad agency, kind of PR, doing all that?
Mm-hmm. I'd been doing that for years. That had been really where my career had been focused. And so that's the ladder I was climbing at the time. And I realized that the traditional agency model wasn't working for me anymore.
Yeah. Now you've grown from 1 year to 100K, right? You've grown from in 1 year, 100K to what?
Wow.
7 million in revenue. Like, what are you doing differently?
Oh, well, we're doing a lot differently. And I think we've changed and evolved over the years as we have grown. But one of the things that we have really stayed true to is that our employees are very much at the center of our business. Number one, I make sure that we work with clients where we really believe in the mission of that client. We believe in the work that we're doing so that we can get excited about it. And then we also, it's a very employee-centered company. We try to make sure that our clients and see that and understand that, and that our employees feel very seen and heard, and that they can show up as their whole selves at work every day. And I think that that's been a huge factor in our success.
And I can agree because we're thinking Amazon. Amazon is very customer centered, right? And you're adding, because you too are also customer centered and providing that optimum, premium service to your clientele. But also you have that piece of it that's like family first work environment, right? Because your whole notion is how do you attain that work-life balance while staying happy, while making money, while having the flexibility. Like, what are some of the big ones that come up with your employees that is crucially important? We're talking about motivation, right? It's either intrinsic or extrinsic. So like, what do you see pop up for you?
I think for us, what's a really big part of our, culture and our success, and one of the things that's one of the reasons why our employees stay is that it's an environment of trust and safety. And so they feel comfortable that number one, we have to trust them if they're working remotely, that they are at home and that they're doing the job that they need to do. But they trust us that we are going to support them and that, we're not going to put them in harm's way or ever put them in a situation where they are having to compromise their values. And that they're really, at the end of the day, the company is really built in a way that we want to be the best company we can for our employees so that we are able to attract really smart, talented people. And by doing that, by creating a really great environment where people are safe to say, hey, you know what? I think the way we're doing this is wrong. I think there could be a better way that we could actually do this in a more productive or efficient way for our clients. And they feel safe to raise those concerns and that we can actually continue to improve the company. That really benefits everybody. It benefits the company. It benefits the coworkers. It benefits the employees. They feel heard, and it benefits our clients at the end of the day. And so we've been, because of that, been able to attract, really talented people and retain them, which has been great.
Yeah, that sense to collaborate, that sense to bounce ideas off each other, brainstorming is critical. It's crucial. It's nice to have that environment where it's welcome.
And yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for a group of women, it really, when you put that power together, like almost like a third mind is creating, right? A third force is birthed out of that. I know that you have seen those same research that women outwork, not even just outwork, but so much like outperform their counterparts, their male counterparts, but they're not easily recognized for that, right? Because they're not usually in those position of power, in the position of CEO, making the decisions in the top tier in the companies. Like, what unique qualities do you see women bring into the workspace that actually makes the business thrive?
Yeah, I think the fact is women are, number one, we are used to doing it all. Women as a whole have historically and still do perform a larger share of household duties than their male counterparts. Typically, we are the ones who are, we're not only bringing home the bacon, like I think it's like age 25 to like 60, 77% of women are in the workforce. So women are out working, and, we bring home the bacon, but we're also the ones frying it up in the pan. And we're also the ones that are scheduling the doctor's appointments. And we're the ones that are scheduling, getting the plumber out there and scheduling the family vacations and doing the PTO conferences and taking care of the elderly parents. And I mean, we're the ones that are doing it all. And when you have people that are used to, having to really just outperform in life, we have to work a lot harder typically in order to even advance in our careers. That's beneficial for our clients because women are used to, we're workers. I mean, we're used to doing it all. And so I think that's one thing. And then number two, women are good communicators. And in our business, communication is key. We also tend to be good listeners. We're nurturers, we're caregivers. And so I think the fact that we have an all-woman company that are really tuned in to the needs of our clients and really listening and also understanding their markets, I think has been really beneficial for our clients and really the success of their marketing.
Yeah. The ability to wear multiple hats and not just wear them, but effectively, productively, and just giving it your all.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
which hat you put on. It's just like taking care of the home, as you mentioned. And then you can never over communicate. That's what we say in our household. You never over communicate. Communicate, and communicate some more to make a successful business thrive. Now, let's talk about you personally in terms of your professional responsibilities, running such a huge company and successful company. How do you differentiate your personal life? How do you get that balance for you?
Yeah, that was a journey for me to learn to do that because I think I tend to be just I like being a productive person. And so it's hard not to get caught up in all your to-dos, right? I'm sure you've seen that as well. There's always more to get done than there is time in the day. And so it's hard not to just get focused on that. But I've really learned to prioritize, self-care as well as my own personal, mental, and physical well-being, as well as the relationships in my life. And so I honestly, because of the type of person I am, I schedule it and I make it a priority. And I also schedule around myself. So I live by my calendar just because I have so many appointments and whatnot. And I schedule my personal things on my calendar. And even like people, that I have relationships with in my life, I send them meeting invitations for those things so that it's on their calendar as well. And that there's, clarity. But I also make it a priority to schedule around myself because I think there's a tendency for us to see like personal appointments on your calendar and something professional comes up and you let your own self slide, right? You put yourself to the back burner. And I've learned to make it a priority not to do that, to actually make my own self a priority. And I think that's really important for women to do. I think our nature to put everybody else before ourselves. And I've learned we've got to put that oxygen mask on ourselves first. It really is truly important.
Yeah, it's crucial because you can't give what you don't have. If you're sick, if you're ill, you can't show up for your family. You can't show up for your team. You can't show up for your clients or your business. So it's crucial to make sure that personal time, whatever you need to unwind, whatever you need to recharge, and that varies, right, from person to person. Extrovert versus introvert. It varies, but you just gotta know yourself, and that comes with that personal time. Spending time with yourself and identifying what those things are, which is a great segue to morning routines. Like, what is it that you do to help you get up, dress up, and show up for everyone around you?
I try to make it a point every morning to spend some time with the people I love before I go to work, not just get up, get ready, but also just spend a little bit of time just connecting with those in my life. And then when I do, come into the office, I also take some time to really plan my day. I feel like that's really important. If I just jump in and start tackling things, it's easy to get distracted by all the flies, right? There's all these little things that are flying around you and you start swiping at them and trying to get them out of the way because they're distracting you. And that's the emails and the texts and all the instant messengers and all of that. And it's hard to lose sight of what the really big, most important things are that you need to tackle in your day. And so I've really made it a priority to always, just old-fashioned list making or whatever apps you like to use to prioritize and plan your day. But I focus on what are the rocks that I need to get done that day. What are the 4 big things that I need to focus on and that will make that day a success? Like if I finish these 2 or 3 things today, I can get all these other little things out of the way, but really I need to focus here if I want to be successful.
I find that very productive, very effective. There's a book called Eat Your Frog First. So do the most important things first. Do the deep work. Allocate the time to get it done. And I find it in the morning is really a good time to tackle the hard, complex tasks because then you're full of energy, you're well rested, willpower is pretty strong, and you're not easily distracted. And so, like you said, doing that, getting those out of the way. See, the little things are easier. they're icing on the cake. They're bonuses if you get around to those things, if you can like tackle one or two big things off of your list and you feel good. I'm a list person too. I don't know if you're type A, but I'm a list checker. I'm going to live by the calendar. I just checking that off makes me very, very happy. So satisfying.
Oh yeah. I love it. I have my list right here. So I'm just like checking, feels so good.
Yeah, it breeds more productivity because then you feel good about it. And that's the thing about building habits. That's how you build habits. That's why you keep strong, effective habits. So I'm a little curious, Tracy, about what some of the things do you do? What are you consuming in the morning? Are you meditating, relaxing? How do you get in that personal space so that you do show up calm and ready to take on your task or to
I do like to spend some time, if I can, meditating. I do think that it's really helpful. And I like to take a break sometimes in the middle of the day to do that, just to sort of recenter myself. I do like to do some kind of a workout in the morning, if it's just, even taking a walk, if it's nice outside, just to try to get your body moving and your blood pumping. And then I really like to try to read something too, if I can, just to sort of feed my mind, get my brain going and try to get, my just my mental energy is flowing. And I'm a big proponent of, I like reading. I know a lot of people, I do Audible in the car. I like to do audiobooks when I'm in the car, but I like just to good old fashioned read. And so I try to do that in the morning, just to sort of try to get myself started.
Yeah. A lot of entrepreneurs do precisely those things, give them energy, the exercising, the reading, stimulate the mind, get you going, think on the right path of thoughts, thought patterns, start thinking, right? Especially if you are the founder, you have to make sure you're mentally ready for everyone else if you have employees like you do. Tracy, tell us, where can we connect with you? Where can we find Creative Noggin?
One place you can find us is online. We do have a website, Creative, and it's Noggin, Noggin.com is our website. And then you can also find me on LinkedIn. And my name is Tracy, Tracy, Marlowe, Marlowe. And I'm on LinkedIn, and I like to put out a lot of content on there about women and empowerment of women, just sort of leadership as women, and just sort of talking about those types of things that we're really passionate about.
Yeah, it's fantastic. The work that you're doing is so empowering. It's so inspiring as well. So thank you for all that you do and the many women that you do work with in that space. I really enjoyed our conversation this morning.
Thank you. Me too. I really appreciate you having me.
Of course, it's my pleasure.
All right, morning enthusiasts, that's it for today's show. Thank you for tuning in. If you love the Best Morning Routine Ever podcast, we'd love to hear from you. So go ahead and subscribe, rate, and give a review on iTunes or Google Play. While you're at it, tell a friend about the show. Be sure to visit bestmorningroutineever.com and our Facebook group to join the conversation, access the show notes, and discover our fantastic free bonus content. Until next time,